Hello, welcome to 13 Universal. So this is A-level CI biology. We are now doing infectious disease topicals. Series 1. This is paper 2 and it is theory AS theory paper 2. Okay, so we have done immunity. This is infectious disease. We're going to do series for immunity, series 2 and above, and then that of infectious diseases. Okay, so get your material. Let's solve questions. Okay, so let's dive in at once. Says tuberculosis is an infectious disease caused by a bacterium. In the majority of people, only the lungs are affected. Okay, that's systemic tuberculosis. In most cases, the transmission of tuberculosis from an infected person to an uninfected person involves Mycobacterium tuberculosis. A different species of bacterium is involved in the transmission of tuberculosis from cattle, such as dairy cows, to human. This one causes what I call systemic tuberculosis. All right, let's see next. All right, question. So, name the species of bacterium causing transmission of TB from dairy cows to humans. So I want you to write it down. What is the name of the species that causes tuberculosis in dairy cows to humans through milk, like milk, cheese, yogurt, meat? So what is the name? Okay, of course it's Mycobacterium bovis. Mycobacterium bovis, that is it. So the first one should start with capital letter. That is the generic name. This is generic name. The first name is generic name. The second name is the specific name, species name. Okay, genus name, species. So species name should be started with smaller letter or lowercase. Okay, then command scheme said accept. It means accept M bovis if you are not sure of mycobacterium, because if you make errors, okay, you can lose the mark. Just one mark. Yeah, tuberculosis. Okay, the same question, but we're going to the B part. So in some areas, cattle cannot be regularly tested or treated for TB. In these areas, milk and dairy products from infected dairy cattle may enter the human food chain. Outline a control measure that can be taken to protect people that consume milk and dairy products from these infected cattle. So if you like milk, like cheese, you like yogurt, how do we control the transmission of these? Pause the video and outline measures, control measures, okay, on how to protect people that consume milk. Pause the video and solve it. Okay, you have to pasteurize the milk. Okay, heat it at a high temperature, at a particular temperature. Use pasteurization. I think about 37 degrees Celsius, or 77 degrees Celsius, but just heat it, or what we call heat treatment of milk. You can use heat treatment of milk that will kill the pathogen. Okay, and then of course, you have to take other measures. All right, by making sure that, because milk is not the only thing you cook, you eat. All right, what about meat? You have to cook meat well. Okay, that's it, guys. Okay, pasteurize, use pasteurized milk. Just how many marks is that? Just one mark. Cattle are not usually affected by tuberculosis, but pathogens can cause disease in other animals. Okay, so cattle they are asymptomatic hosts, they are not affected. So a few cases of transmission of tuberculosis from people to animals have been reported. Explain the most likely mode of transmission of TB from an infected person to an animal. So how is TB transmitted? The most likely mode. Okay, so pause the video, try it. Remember, pause the video, that tuberculosis, especially the pulmonary tuberculosis, is a droplet infection. So as an infected person coughs, all right, or sneezes or talks, okay, it releases aerosols. Aerosols are airborne droplets that carry this pathogens. Okay, so when the pathogens in the air, when the aerosols are inhaled by the animals have it. That's it, guys. Don't forget it. Infected person coughs, breathes out, talks. This is how tuberculosis is transmitted. These aerosols, right, contain this pathogen. Okay, so they in the air. So the droplets in air. All right, when they're inhaled by these animals enter their food, they become infected. In most people, the response of the immune system to infection of lung tissue by Mycobacterium tuberculosis can prevent the spread of bacterium to other organs of the body. The bacterium is contained in the lungs in a dormant state. This is known as latent. So it's usually in a dormant state because it grows slowly. It's insensitive, right? Outline the treatment that is used to kill M. tuberculosis in latent TB infection. So how do we kill it? Okay, pause the video and outline treatment that is used. Okay, outline, write it out now. I'm watching you. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Do not check your notebook. Don't check the mask scheme. Try to retrieve information. Okay, very importantly. So you use antibiotics to treat it. Antibiotics, okay, or antibacterial, and these antibiotics can be combined, right? The more combined, the more effective. Okay, it can be combined, and then of course it should be used for long period of time, like 4 months to 12 months, because the organism is fastidious, it grows slowly. So you need high concentration of these antibiotics in the body. So you need combination therapy of antibiotics, because some of them can actually be resistant. You have a lot of multiple drug resistant tuberculosis pathogen. Okay, so of course, longer period of time you use antibiotics. Okay, this can help to kill them. Use different antibiotics because they have different targets. Look at it, guys. They're always asking questions from this antibiotics. So don't use vaccine. Vaccine is for prevention. Okay, vaccine is for, that's why I say ignore it. Okay, combination treatment, combination antibiotics. Ignore many. Don't say many antibiotics. If you are taking many antibiotics, but the same type of antibiotics, it may not help. But you have different antibiotics. Yeah, they have different target sites, so there's less chance of that pathogen having, all right, resistance to two compared to one antibiotics. Okay, you can see that. Yeah, these are the antibiotics we use for tuberculosis: rifampicin, isoniazid, rifampicin, okay, so all of these can be combined. 4 to 12 months, allow must take 6 months. Okay, and of course shorter time using combination. If you use short combination, you have shorter time than single. All right, 2 marks. E tuberculosis can, that's M tuberculosis can spread in the blood and lymph to other organs in the body. In every rare cases, a disease known as mycotic aneurysm can be caused by infection of arterial wall, particularly in elastic arteries. The damage caused by the pathogen can lead to a rupture or bursting of the artery. Yeah, so if there's a damage, you can burst the artery. With reference to the structure of wall of elastic arteries suggests how damage caused by tuberculosis, right, infection can lead to the rupture of the artery. You may draw a diagram if you wish. Okay, so the question, pause the video and try to solve this question, guys. Pause the video. All right, remember that elastic arteries are arteries that carry blood at very high pressure. Okay, they carry it from the heart directly, especially aorta. Aorta is an elastic artery. So elastic arteries, majorly they have more elastic fibers, all right, because they carry blood at very high pressure. So they have more elastic fibers. Elastic fibers prevents, all right, it has two major functions. Number one, it prevents, it maintains the high pressure by stretching and recoiling So they maintain high pressure in blood vessels, in elastic artery like aorta. But the most important thing is that they also, elastic arteries, they also prevent bursting or rupturing of arteries, okay, aorta especially. So you can see that mostly, of course, this is the tunica externa. This is, you know, an artery, right? Tunica externa, tunica media in the middle. This is intima, this is epithelium, okay? So we have collagen fiber and elastic fiber in tunica intima. We have two of them here and smooth muscle. So two of them help to prevent the artery from rupturing. Okay, so that means that if, remember what they told us here, how does it, the question says, with reference to the structure of wall of elastic fiber, suggest how damage caused by tuberculosis infection can lead to the rupture of. So if you remember the function, so remember that collagen here or elastic fiber, when they are digested or destroyed by the pathogen, okay, when they are digested or destroyed by pathogen, remember that collagen contains collagen, okay, offers strength and support. So elastic fiber same. So when they are damaged by the pathogen, okay, so what happens is that they can no longer, give strength. So because of that, the artery will rupture. Remember that um, due to high pressure, okay, the artery, the elastic fiber, always expand and recoil. Now, once the elastic fiber is damaged, it loses its elasticity, it becomes over expanded, it cannot recoil again. Okay, so, and of course, the pressure in the blood will rupture them. Look at it. Okay, yeah, see, loss of damage, so loss or damage your elastic fiber, okay, from tunica media. This tunica media, find more here, and that will lead to scar tissue, replace the elastic fiber. Scar tissue won't be able to offer strength and support. Loss of damage to collagen, okay, damages to tunica externa, adventitia. Collagen is more here, but it's also here, okay. Now, because these two are damaged, so they cannot withstand high pressure, increase in pressure. So by stretching or expansion, cannot stretch, they cannot stretch. So impaired or no recoil, okay, due to loss of elastic fiber. This is how they lead to rupture. Okay, let's quickly go to the next question. Some people who are infected with HIV develop HIV/AIDS. Fig 4.1 shows the number of people that have been newly infected with HIV new infections in 2008 across the world, and the percentage changes in the number of new infections since 2010. Percentage changes, number of infections. Okay, look at the world map. Okay, see North America, West Central Europe, 68,000 new infections, but there's a decrease, 12% decrease. Okay, there's a decrease, 16% decrease, 7% decrease, right? um 13% decrease, 28, and you see this 800 new infections. So if you are asked, guys, to describe this, I want you to try to describe this trend. What trend do you see? This is 29%, 9%. So if you check, there is, okay, most of these part of the regions of the world have decreased, right? Okay, in percentage decrease is low, 12%, 6% for 12% for North America, 16% for, okay, Latin America, 7%. So they have low percentage decrease. Do you get it? All right, that's what describing it, 9%. Okay, but the ones that have the lowest decrease is the Latin America. Okay, the ones that have, of course, the highest, of course, this is increase. The ones that have increase, this one has increased. Okay, others have decreased except Eastern. You can see this is a 9% increase. Okay, and look at another one has increased, Middle East, 10% increase. All right, so both of them have increases. All right, so that's how to describe. And of course, let's go to the next question. State the full name of the pathogen HIV. What's in the full name of HIV? I want to state it for me. Human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, immunodeficiency virus. All right, look at the same thing we said. Using only the data in Fig 4.1, state what can be conducted about the change in the number of new HIV across the world. So you see, you may use the letters and the 5 regions of the world. Like we mentioned, that most of them, we have answered this question, but you can pause it and try it. Okay, most of them have decreased. Okay, decrease, and then some of them have increased. And then look at it. There's a decrease in the percentage of infection in most regions, except, okay, there's a decreasing trend except in Eastern Europe. There's an increase there, and Middle East. Okay, there's no overall trend. Of course, some of them, most of them decrease, some of them increase. So the biggest decrease, okay, is in the Middle East, East and South Africa. So sorry, East and Southern Africa, East and Southern Africa. Yeah, the smallest percentage decrease, the smallest, all right, is in G Latins. We saw it. You can go back and look at it. Then you can quote data, and that's all. So description questions are very cheap. Just find the trend, cite the trend, find some features, cite them, and then quote data to support it. People who develop HIV or AIDS have fewer T helper cells. They have fewer. As the pathogen destroys these cells, this makes them more susceptible to tuberculosis. Right? Tuberculosis infection is an opportunistic pathogen. All right, explain why people with HIV/AIDS are more likely to develop TB. Why they're more likely to develop TB. Okay, pause the video and then try it. Remember, we do it by ourselves. That's how we roll. Pause it and okay, and then try by ourselves. So don't forget that TB is an opportunistic infection. So people that have fewer T helper cells, right? T helper cells, when they have fewer T helper cells, all right, then fewer cytokines can be released, because T helper cells release cytokines. Fewer T helper cells leads to release of fewer amount of cytokines, so less macrophages stimulated to carry out aggressive phagocytosis, less B lymphocytes stimulated so that the less B lymphocytes divide by mitosis. Of course, they differentiate to form plasma cells, so less antibodies made. All right, so less humoral immune response. Okay, so less, of course, T killer stimulated, so less pathogen destroyed. This is how the erodes. Okay, so tuberculosis is an opportunistic infection, so it weakens the immune system. Fewer T helper cells, so less primary immune response. Yeah, and of course, don't forget that we have less primary immune response. There's going to be less secondary immune response, or fewer memory cells form after primary immune response. So fewer T helper cells, so less effective primary immune response. Always memorize this. Fewer helper T helper cells, less cytokines secreted, less phagocytosis stimulated. Okay, and angry macrophages, fewer B lymphocytes stimulated to divide by mitosis. Okay, and form plasma cells. Fewer antibodies secreted. See, yeah. So weak response to vaccine, no memory cells format. That's a lot. Number of cases of tuberculosis is affected by many biological, social, and economic factors. The number of reported cases of TB in the USA between 1980 and 2000 is shown in Fig 2.1. Okay, so describe the trend shown in Fig 2.1 between 1980 and 2000. This is 1980 and 2000. So you have to find, of course, can you see the general trend? Pause the video and try it. And then they say describe. That's the cheapest question in biology, is describe graphs. Okay, show us the pattern. Can you see that there's a decrease, there's a decrease, right? Decreases, okay, and if you check here, and then increases again, and then decreases. So, but generally, you find the general trend. The general trend is that there's a general decrease, okay, from 1980 to 2000. There's a general decrease, but you need to find the the value for each box. From here, 1980 to 1985 is 5 years, represent 10 units. So 10 boxes, so each one will be what? 0.5, okay? Because you can see this is 1985. So 1985, that's going to be 19. You can see that. So here now, look at this also. 5 boxes represent 2000. Okay, so 2000 divided by 5 will give you 200. Okay, So this is about, this is 2,800. That would be 27,800 or thereabout. The next one decreases at, in 1980 was that, but in 19 this will be 84 thereabout. Okay, it decreases to 22,000, and then it increases slightly again from 1984 to about 1986, and then increases. So first of all, the general trend, okay, and then it starts quoting data. So see, overall decrease in number of protect cases, okay, from 2000 or whatever, that is 27,600, okay, to, okay, 16,000, right, somewhere here, okay, yeah, okay, manipulated data decline, okay, decrease in 1980 to 1984, yes, increase between 1988, so there's an increase again here, okay, so you just follow it, little start change. All right, so you just follow the trends and quote data. It's not much, guys. It's the easiest question. All right, there is. Okay, Mycobacterium tuberculosis is a species of bacterium that causes TB. Strains of M. tuberculosis have evolved resistance to some of the antibiotics used to treat. There is a state two ways the impact of antibiotic resistance can be reduced. In what ways? Pause the video. How do we reduce it? Okay, pause the video and try out this question, my people. Remember, the antibiotics should only be used when it is needed. Okay, that's what it should always be used on, and it should be prescribed across the counter. Okay, the right dose should be taken. Okay, you shouldn't use it for viral infection, right? Because these are the things that cause, right, antibiotic resistance. So broad spectrum antibiotics should be used for diseases that are caused by many different similar pathogens. Okay, so you don't use human antibiotics to treat animal infection. These are things that cause it. Okay, so course of treatment must be completed. Look at it. Prescribe, take antibiotic only when absolutely necessary. Don't just take it. Do not use for viral infection. Do not use for, it's not used for preventive medicine. Only when it is prescribed. Make sure effective prescribe used, broad spectrum, look at that. Complete course, follow instruction. Develop, yes, these are the ones I didn't mention. So develop new antibiotics, yes. All right, or use other antibacterials. Okay. Now look at these measures to prevent break transmission cycle. People should, right, measures like good hygiene, quarantine people who have multiple drug resistant. When you see cases, report them. Memorize these, guys. Education for healthcare professional public to reduce impact of antibiotic resistance. Monitoring situation, checking them. These are ways. Okay. Now, of course, for tuberculosis, DOT there means direct observation therapy scheme. So anybody that's taking the drug, you must observe the person, okay, directly. Yeah, TB can affect every part of the human gas exchange system, including trachea, bronchi, and alveoli. The cartilage in the bronchi can be damaged in some people with TB. Suggest the effect that damage may have on bronchi. So if the cartilage is damaged, what effect does it have on bronchi? This is bronchi, not bronchi. This is bronchi. Typo. So, what is the effect? What effect will it have? Okay, what effect? Okay, will the damage of cartilage in bronchi have? Pause the video and solve the question. Okay, so the first question you should ask yourself: what is the role of cartilage? Cartilage keeps the airways open. It prevents it from collapsing. Okay, and if it is damaged, the airway will do what? It will collapse. All right. Trypanosome brucea is a unicellular organism that causes infection. This is known as sleeping sickness. Insects known as flies pass on the organism from infected person to uninfected person. When male and female fly feed on human blood, so both male and female, all right, feed on human blood. Okay, this is the pathogen here. Is he a eukaryote or prokaryote? Of course, It's a eukaryote. Can you see as well-defined nuclear membrane? Can you see that? Okay, as all this other this. It says Fig 4.1 is the transmission electron micrograph of the form. So if they wanted to calculate the magnification, okay, that's what this is trying to say, but it wasn't added. So magnification using a scale bar. How do you calculate it? You measure length of scale bar. Okay, magnification using a scale bar. How do we do it? So you measure the length. Of course, magnification is image over actual, but that image is measured by length of scale bar over value of scale bar. So if you measure that scale bar, you convert it to micrometers by time. If you measure it in centimeter, you multiply by 10,000 to convert centimeter to micrometers. Okay, and then divide it by 1. Okay, that is it. Malaria is an infectious disease caused by organisms belonging to this genus Plasmodium. State the term used to describe an organism that causes disease. So what is the use? Pathogen, parasite. They say ignore parasite. Okay, pathogen. Why? Okay, because not up. Okay, just to be specific, pathogen. Okay, disease causing microorganism. Trypanosome bro. Okay, that's the same question. The same question. Okay, malaria is an infectious disease caused by belong to. Okay, yes, was name one of the species of Plasmodium that causes malaria. So name them. There are 4 of them. Malaria falciparum, the baddest among the group. Malaria falciparum, malaria overlay, malaria viva, Plasmodium overlay, Plasmodium vivax. Okay, Plasmodium. All right, this is one. Plasmodium malaria, Plasmodium overlay vivax. Correct spelling is important. Just one of the outline the similarities and differences between the modes of transmission of malaria and Stephen sickness. So what, pause the video, what is the similarities between them? Okay, so both of them are transmitted by what? By a vector. Yeah, one is a fly, one is a female anopheles mosquito. So both of them feed on human blood. See, all right, but the difference is that fly involves a male and female. All right, and then malaria involves only the female anopheles mosquito. You can see that. All right, both vector borne carried by vector. Malaria vector is a mosquito. Okay, yep, mosquito vector. While the other one is fly. But the similarities here, both of them have they both have vectors. Okay, vector borne, right? And then the vectors feed on human blood in both cases. So both diseases transmitted through blood. Difference is malaria is transmitted by mosquito, female anopheles mosquito. Okay, female feed on both for sickle cell, male and female. Right. So guys, thank you for hanging on. See you in the next series. Okay, this is Shedro. Bye.